Not long ago, Kai was just an ordinary boy. He went to school, finished his homework, and spent most afternoons exploring the woods near his town. Then one day, everything changed. On his walk home from school, Kai discovered something unusual. Half buried beneath an old tree was a strange compass. It wasn't made of gold. It wasn't covered in jewels. Yet somehow, it seemed different, almost alive. Curious, Kai took it home. He had no idea that a single decision would change his life forever. Because the very next morning, Kai woke up somewhere impossible. Not in his bedroom, not even in his own time. And every morning since then, he is awakened in a different world, a different place, a different era, a different mystery. One morning, he stood beneath the pyramids of ancient Egypt. Another, he explored the magnificent temples of Angkor at the height of its empire. He has walked the streets of ancient Rome, crossed forgotten kingdoms, visited worlds that should not even exist. And somehow, every journey leads back to the same mystery, the compass, the symbol, and a secret hidden across time itself. But today, a new adventure begins. The World Jumper, Episode 1. I woke up inside the Great Pyramid. Every morning, Kai wakes up somewhere new. A different world, a different time, a different mystery. And today, he woke up in ancient Egypt. Kai slowly opened his eyes. For a moment, everything seemed normal. The quiet feeling of waking up. The sleepy fog still hanging in his mind. But something felt wrong, very wrong. There was no sunlight, no familiar ceiling, no posters on the wall, no bookshelf, no bed. Kai sat upright immediately. His eyes widened. The room around him had completely changed. Massive stone blocks surrounded him on every side. Ancient carvings covered the walls. Small torches flickered with orange light. The air smelled of dust and stone. This was definitely not his bedroom. Kai rubbed his eyes, then looked again. Nothing changed. The strange room remained exactly the same. Slowly, he stood up. The cold stone floor sent a chill through his body. Everything felt real, too real. Then he noticed something familiar, his smartwatch, still wrapped around his wrist. The screen glowed softly. Somehow it was still working. Kai let out a small sigh of relief. At least one thing made sense. Curious, he walked toward the nearest wall. Strange symbols stretched across the stone surface. Birds, eyes, animals, shapes unlike anything he had ever seen. He activated the scanner on his watch. A thin blue light swept across the carvings. The watch processed the symbols for a few seconds. Then a result appeared, ancient Egyptian hieroglyphs. Estimated date 2560 BCE, location Giza Plateau. Kai stared at the screen, then looked back at the wall, then back at the screen again. Ancient Egypt? There was no way. His watch had to be malfunctioning. Maybe he was dreaming. Maybe he was sleepwalking. Maybe... A bright beam of sunlight interrupted his thoughts. At the far end of the room, a narrow corridor led toward an opening, and beyond it, daylight. Carefully, Kai began walking. Each step echoed through the corridor. The further he walked, the louder the sounds became. Voices, footsteps, the scraping of stone. The corridor seemed endless. Then suddenly, he stepped outside and froze. The sight before him was impossible. A gigantic pyramid rose from the desert. Not ancient, not damaged, not weathered. New, perfect, still being built. Thousands of workers moved across the landscape. Teams carried massive stone blocks. Architects directed construction. Priests walked between unfinished structures. Far in the distance, the Nile River shimmered beneath the sun. For several seconds, Kai could do nothing but stare. The world around him was alive. This wasn't ancient Egypt as history remembered it. This was ancient Egypt as it truly was. His smartwatch wasn't wrong. He had somehow traveled more than 4,000 years into the past. As Kai explored, he noticed something surprising. The workers weren't chained. They weren't being forced to work. Many laughed together while carrying tools. Others rested in the shade. Families shared meals nearby. Kai quickly checked his watch. Historical records confirmed something interesting. Many of the workers who built the pyramids were actually skilled craftsmen and laborers, not slaves. It was one of history's biggest misconceptions. The more Kai explored, the more amazed he became. Everything about this civilization felt advanced. Engineers carefully planned every measurement. Astronomers studied the movement of stars. Builders moved stones weighing several tons with incredible precision, without trucks, without cranes, without computers. Yet somehow they were creating one of the greatest structures in human history. As the day continued, Kai filled pages of his notebook with sketches and observations. Every corner of ancient Egypt seemed to hide another mystery. Then something unexpected happened. The compass hanging around his neck began to glow. A soft blue light pulsed from beneath its glass surface. Kai stopped walking. The compass had never done that before. Slowly he picked it up. The needle spun wildly, round and round, faster and faster. Then suddenly it stopped, pointing directly toward the pyramid, toward its center. Curious, Kai followed. The compass guided him back inside, through corridors, past storage chambers, past workers carrying supplies. The deeper he went, the brighter the compass glowed. Eventually it led him to a section of wall partially hidden behind stacked stone blocks. Something felt strange, almost as if the wall didn't belong there. Kai pushed aside a loose stone. Behind it he discovered a narrow passage. No guards, no workers, no signs that anyone had entered recently. The passage disappeared into darkness. The compass glowed brighter. Taking a deep breath, Kai stepped inside. Dust covered every surface. The air felt still, silent, untouched. At the end of the passage waited a small hidden chamber. The room was unlike anything he had seen before. Ancient carvings covered the walls. But one symbol immediately caught his attention. Kai froze. His heartbeat quickened, because he recognized it. He had seen that symbol countless times before. It was engraved on his compass. Exactly the same. Every line, every curve, every detail. Thousands of years separated the two objects. Yet somehow they matched perfectly. How was that possible? Who created the symbol? And why did it exist here? Slowly, Kai reached forward. The moment his fingers touched the carving, the entire chamber shook. Dust rained from the ceiling. The symbol erupted with blue light, the same blue light shining from the compass. A deep rumbling echoed through the room. Then a section of the wall slowly began to move. Stone scraped against stone. A hidden chamber revealed itself. Inside was a message, not written in hieroglyphs, not written in an ancient language, written in English. 3 simple words: "Seek the 5 keys." Kai stared at the message. His mind raced. 5 keys? What keys? Who left this message? And how did they know he would find it? Before he could think further, the compass suddenly blazed brighter than ever before. Light filled the room. The floor vanished. The walls dissolved. The entire world began to spin. Ancient Egypt faded around him, and just before everything disappeared, Kai noticed something. A figure standing in the shadows, watching, waiting. A tall, hooded stranger, his face hidden. Around his neck hung the same mysterious symbol, the exact same symbol. Then darkness consumed everything, silence. For a moment there was nothing. Then Kai opened his eyes again. Red sand stretched across the horizon. 2 moons hung in the sky above. Strange towers rose in the distance beneath giant glass domes. He quickly looked at his smartwatch. The screen flickered. Location: unknown. Estimated date: year 2150. Kai slowly looked toward the distant city. Whatever waited for him there, it was no longer ancient Egypt, and somehow the mystery had only just begun. To be continued.